Imagine a country reversing decades of policy to confront a silent emergency. Vietnam's fertility rate recently dropped to just 1.91 births per woman, well below the 2.1 replacement level needed for a stable population. Welcome to Demography and Context, Beyond the Data. In June, Vietnam officially abolished its long-standing de facto two-child policy. This significant shift in national strategy, made in Hanoi, directly addresses mounting government concerns over a rapidly aging population and declining birth rates. The implications affect nearly all aspects of Vietnamese society, from economic stability to social welfare for its 101 million citizens. This signals a profound demographic challenge ahead, aiming to avert severe long-term consequences for the nation and setting the stage for our in-depth analysis. Let's delve into the data. Vietnam's total fertility rate, or births per woman, was 1.91 last year, according to Newsweek on September 4, 2025. This is notably below the 2.1 replacement rate needed for population stability. For perspective on aging, those aged 65 and older comprised about 9% of Vietnam's population in 2024 per UN Population Division statistics. This share is projected to more than double, reaching 20% by mid-century. Urban centers like Ho Chi Minh City show an even sharper decline, with a fertility rate plummeting to 1.39 children per woman in 2023, among the nation's lowest. The financial burden is substantial. A 2023 estimate in VN Express indicated an average monthly expense of supporting a child until age 22 is around 15 million dong, or roughly $570. This contrasts sharply with an average monthly salary of only $230. While Vietnam currently boasts a population of 101 million and is in a golden population phase where working-age adults outnumber dependents, this advantage is projected to end around 2041, highlighting a narrowing window of opportunity. Historically, Vietnam once faced the opposite problem, a baby boom in the 1960s, which led to the introduction of a two-child norm. This policy, extended nationwide after 1975, aimed for replacement-level fertility by 2005. Today, we see a dramatic reversal, with a sustained decline in births, moving Vietnam towards rapid aging. This mirrors trends in other East Asian nations. For example, countries like Japan and South Korea are already in a super-aged category, with China following closely. Vietnam's situation, while not yet as severe as Singapore's, is undeniably headed in the same direction. What drives this shift? Decades of rapid economic growth since the late 1980s have brought rising urban living costs and a fundamental change in generational attitudes toward family planning. These interconnected factors highlight a complex demographic landscape. For businesses, this demographic shift means a shrinking pool of younger workers, intensifying pressure on the labor market and skills availability. Companies must rethink workforce strategies, from recruitment to retention. For policymakers, the implications are equally profound. An aging population places significantly heavier pressure on pension systems and healthcare infrastructure. How will demand and consumer behavior evolve as the population ages? What will this mean for sectors like housing, leisure, and specialized services? The government's decision to scrap the two-child policy is a direct response, but it necessitates broader national strategies on employment and social welfare to adapt. The high cost of raising children, evident in the 15 million dong monthly expense, directly impacts family decisions, affecting future consumer bases and national productivity. We must acknowledge the inherent uncertainties when discussing demographic shifts. Will merely ending the two-child policy truly make a significant difference in reversing the declining birth rate trend? History offers a cautious perspective. regional peers, despite years of implementing various incentives such as cash bonuses, subsidized fertility treatments, and mortgage breaks, have seen quite limited success in effectively raising fertility rates. This suggests the Vietnamese government faces substantial socioeconomic and cultural headwinds that have proven remarkably resistant to policy interventions in other nations facing similar demographic pressures. The exact long-term impact of this specific policy reversal remains an open question, and there's no guarantee of an immediate or substantial shift in demographic patterns or the broader societal attitudes that influence family planning decisions. We can reasonably infer that Vietnam stands at an extremely critical demographic juncture. The vibrant window of its golden population phase is rapidly closing, making the development of proactive, comprehensive national strategies an urgent necessity for sustained economic growth and social stability. The government's recent policy shift, while significant, primarily reflects a vital recognition of a looming crisis rather than offering a definitive, guaranteed solution. It strongly suggests that sustained low fertility rates, deeply rooted in complex economic pressures, evolving social norms, and the high cost of raising children, present a profoundly multifaceted challenge for policymakers. This is a challenge that will require much more than just policy reversals to address effectively and holistically. Listeners often ask important questions about this topic. First, is Vietnam's situation truly unique in the global landscape? No. In fact, many countries, particularly across East Asia, face very similar challenges of declining birth rates and rapidly aging populations, making Vietnam's experience part of a broader regional trend. Second, a common question: will simply ending the two-child policy be enough to fix this demographic imbalance? The article suggests it's highly uncertain, as regional peers have struggled to significantly raise fertility rates even with various incentives designed to encourage larger families. Finally, what are the primary drivers behind this persistent low birth rate? Key factors include rising urban living costs, profound changes in generational attitudes towards family planning, and notably, the considerable financial expense associated with raising children. For leaders and decision-makers navigating these complex demographic waters, here are 3 actionable takeaways with immediate relevance. First, it is imperative to develop and implement comprehensive national strategies for employment and social welfare. These are crucial to effectively adapt to an increasingly aging workforce and a growing dependent population, ensuring stability across society. Second, initiate targeted economic and social policies specifically aimed at mitigating the high cost of raising children and providing robust, accessible support for families. This includes financial aid programs, affordable childcare, and flexible work arrangements. Third, establish agile systems to continuously monitor demographic trends with precision. Regularly adapt and refine policies based on emerging data and societal feedback, recognizing the long-term, dynamic, and evolving nature of these profound demographic shifts. Bottom line: Vietnam's journey from managing a population boom to confronting a potential emergency underscores the intricate relationship between economic development, social shifts, and demographic policy. The abolition of the two-child policy represents a crucial, albeit complex, acknowledgement of the nation's evolving challenges. It's a bold step, but its effectiveness hinges on addressing the deeper socioeconomic factors that influence family planning decisions, such as the high cost of living and changing cultural values. We have explored the data, the emerging patterns, and the significant implications for both business and policy. As this critical demographic transformation unfolds, societies must proactively adapt to ensure long-term stability and prosperity.